no Hearn,
Yeah, I haven't asked you about that.
no Probelum, no AJ.
And as you guys can see, that is Ben Shalom prepping the interviewer before an interview, telling him what not to say. Don't ask me this, don't ask me that. No Probelum, no AJ, no Eddie Hearn, no nothing that probably the interviewer wanted to talk about. And let me counterpunch. This may seem like odd to a lot of people, but it happens all the time. A lot of times when people have censorship or something that they feel uncomfortable saying, they will tell you, hey, don't ask me about this prior to the interview, so they won't get cut or get caught on the spot in mid question, so they don't freeze up when you ask a question that they weren't prepared to answer. Now, it's not always the best thing, because after all, you're looking at an interviewer. If you have problems answering any questions, therefore maybe you shouldn't have been interviewed, because the type of questions that people want to get answers from are the type of interesting topics that we want to hear. We want to hear people clear up rumors. We don't want to hear things not talked about. When you don't talk about something, that just makes it more suspicious, and it makes you believe whatever you hear than the gift horse. Okay. Ben Shalom, as we heard him say, no Eddie Hearn, no Probelum, no AJ. It's like, okay, well, why not? You like those type of things there makes you question who's being interviewed. It makes you question, like, why are you putting a barrier up or wall up? It does make it very, very shady, very sketchy like stuff when you do hear people tell you, hey, don't ask me about that. Don't ask me about this. And I remember being that guy that was told not to ask certain things. And it kind of was like, okay, well, what the hell what are you even here for? You're telling me don't talk about this particular guy, don't talk about that particular guy, only talk about this, only talk about that. It's like, okay, well, damn, cancer culture is in full effect, like pre-cancer culture, right? So you're looking at it like, okay, well, what the hell? That's exactly what I was going to ask you, all the things you told me not to ask. So it just really gets you in a state of mind. And you have to ask yourself this question. If Ben Shalom is prepping people for questions that he doesn't want to ask, is he the only one does it? No. But think about who doesn't do that. You guys remember Eddie Hearn last week, and he was talking about AJ. It was just either he didn't want to answer or whatever, but he was like, no, I want people to understand. I didn't want to cut the video. I didn't want to edit something out. So let's start over. That's the type of openness you need when you're dealing with a sport that I love, that I hate so much. Counterpunch, right? Because we don't want censorship. We want answers, and we want real answers to real situations. We want results. We want fights. We want what's really going on in the sport of boxing. I know it's a dirty, murky business, but at the end of the day, we need to see how dirty and murky this business really is. How do we do that? By letting things out in the open, by telling people, this is what's up, this is what's going on. Either I can talk about it or I can't. But when you tell a person, don't ask me certain questions, that's just as worse as that person denying it, because he can always have the right to deny it, but it just makes you feel like it's cancer culture in full effect. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Ben Shalom prepping an interviewer, telling an interviewer, don't ask me this, don't ask me that. Tell me what you think. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.